Su Nian, a delightful 19-year-old, experiences a joyful existence with her father's friends, having lost her entire family. Her lone concern is her brother, Su Mu. One morning, she discovers him asleep in her room, leading to a playful pillow fight and a decision to contact their often absent parents. Su Nian manages household chores while excelling at school, where Su Mu shines as a popular basketball player. During a game, Su Nian and her friends, including the intrigued Liu Zi, witness Su Mu's victory. Liu Zi's interest in Su Mu becomes apparent, leading to a confrontation where Su Mu intervenes, unaware of the hidden kindness Liu Zi once showed him during an illness. Meanwhile, Su Nian faces a teacher's advice to focus more on her studies in her last year of high school. Determined to catch up, Su Nian extends her study hours, prompting concern from Su Mu, who calls to check on her. She assures him of her late arrival, explaining her commitment to improving academic efforts. Surprised by her brother's unexpected visit, Su Nian expresses gratitude with a warm hug. They decide to ride bicycles home together, where Su Mu reveals he has taken notes for the classes she missed, overwhelming her with his support. In class, a new seating arrangement rule generates excitement among students. Su Nian chooses Lei, the photographer, as her seatmate. The teacher announces a surprise exam with significant university admissions implications, causing tension. Lei reassures Su Nian, and she discovers the answers in Su Mu's notes. The day takes a special turn when Su Mu, an idol, impressively submits his paper first. After the exam, Su Nian and Lei chat, but Su Mu's lunch invitation interrupts. Surprised to find her parents at home, they share a cozy family meal, addressing past complaints in good humor. With the parents urging responsibility for Su Nian's crucial last year in high school, an underlying tone suggests they may be hiding something. After the exam results are distributed, Su Mu excels with a perfect score, but Su Nian is disheartened by her perceived failure. Lei offers solace, revealing his struggles with a critical heart condition. Determined to become a skilled doctor and help Lei, Su Nian is moved. Su Mu challenges the teacher's doubts about her exam answers, prompting a retake. Overcoming doubt, Su Nian impressively performs, surprising everyone. On their way home, Su Mu encourages her to harness her intellect and strengthen her resolve. The next day, expressing gratitude for her brother's support, Su Nian is surprised when Su Mu chooses to ride with Liu Zi instead, leaving her to walk to school. In class, a sudden comprehension and composition test puts Su Nian in an uncomfortable situation as the teacher reprimands her for a delayed assignment submission. Lei comes to her defense, promising to ensure she isn't disturbed during the test. They later share a good time in physical training class, but Su Nian collapses from hunger. Su Mu rushes her to the clinic, learning about her poor nutrition habits. Jealous, he imagines Su Nian and Lei enjoying life together. Su Mu decides to closely monitor their tutoring sessions, causing frustration for Su Nian. She insists on Lei as her teacher, prompting Su Mu to end the session. Back home, Su Mu's protective behavior continues as he pretends a stomachache to ensure Su Nian prepares a meal. The scene unfolds with Su Mu's surprising decision to reject admission to a prestigious university, opting for proximity to his family. In class, Su Nian faces discouragement from a classmate regarding a talent competition, deeming her unfit for dancing or singing. Su Mu steps in as her protector, silencing the bullies. During lunch with Su Mu's friend Qin, Su Nian gains confidence and contemplates joining the competition. At home, she practices singing, drawing inspiration from the crow and the peacock fable. However, her artistic efforts meet playful criticism from Su Mu, leading to moments of frustration in their sibling dynamic. Alone in the bathroom, frustrated Su Nian is found by Liu Zi, who proposes to participate in the school competition. Against a musical backdrop in the teacher's office, Su Nian expresses her desire to participate, despite the teacher's concern about her low grades. Su Mu confidently steps in, promising to train her in his spare time. With the teacher's approval secured, Su Mu and Liu Zi plan their speech. However, Su Mu's sudden pain interrupts the meeting, and Liu takes him home. Su Nian tends to her sick brother, and Liu Zi's visit aids his recovery. As the girls train, a candid conversation reveals Su Nian's motive: to impress Qin. Tensions arise during practice, but Su Nian diffuses a conflict, discovering Qin's friendship with a new girl, leaving her unsure of her role in his life. To ensure memorization, Su Mu advises a brief presentation, intervening when Oang mocks Su Nian. After practice, Su Mu, unwell, supports Su Nian with throat medicine. Returning home, she finds him asleep and discovers he spent the night preparing notes for her studies. Touched, she rehearses, thinking of Lei, whom she hasn't seen. Concerned, she calls and learns Lei is in the ICU. Su-mu reluctantly takes her to the hospital, where they find Lei's father recognizing Su-Nian. Depressed, she questions why things slip away. Su-mu comforts her with food, but her focus is Lei's recovery. Lei awakened, offering a glimmer of hope. In the hospital room, Su-mu consults the doctor about Lei's health, while Su-Nian pledges to become a doctor to treat him. Lei assures her he'll wait, and she'll be his cure. After a content visit, Su-Nian dedicated herself to practicing for the school competition. Despite her efforts and choosing an outfit, Su-mu insists she wears the school uniform, surprising her on the competition day. Facing a momentary setback, she forgets her lines, but Su-mu's support boosts her courage. Improvising a captivating story, Su-Nian wins the audience's applause. Later, after discovering academic failure, Su-mu attempts to console her, but she remains disheartened. Alone in her room, Su-Nian contemplates her academic situation, with Su-mu's attempt at cooking awaiting her. The next day, Ken congratulated their outstanding performance, boosting Su-Nian's confidence in attracting his attention. Taunted by classmates, Liu Zi defends Su-Nian's talent, challenging her to reveal her grades. At home, Su-mu encourages self-belief and attempts cooking, though Su-Nian isn't in the mood. Checking on friend Lei, he shares a mix of news: good, a U.S. doctor for treatment, and bad, no in-person meetings. Lei's video, recorded by Su-mu, reveals his thoughtful encouragement, leaving Su-Nian grateful for her considerate brother. In her room, Su-Nian contemplates a gift for Lei, considering an electronic whiteboard but finding it expensive. Discussing the idea with Liu Zi, she hesitates to accept financial help. A passerby gives her a job flyer, offering a chance to earn money for the gift. Despite Liu Zi's skepticism, Su-Nian, determined to ignore concerns, lies to Su-mu and starts a photography studio job. After a full 8-hour shift, she's paid the amount needed. Leaving, she declines an invitation, heading home. Su-mu, worried after 8 hours, calls Liu Zi, learning Su-Nian didn't come to her. Searching, they find her unconscious with a newfound cat friend. Su-mu rushes to pick her up. Exhausted from her taxing day, Su-Nian expresses a desire for solitude upon returning home. The next day, she apologizes to Su-mu, vowing not to repeat her actions, and he forgives her, prioritizing her well-being. As the semester concludes, Su-mu excels, receiving scholarship offers from numerous universities. Su-Nian, with significantly improved grades, shares her mixed emotions about his departure from university. Celebrating their achievements, the family encourages Su-Nian to prepare for the medical school pretest. On exam day, she enrolls and receives immediate confirmation of her success, fulfilling her dream of becoming a doctor. Su-mu, with a prestigious scholarship, accompanies her to the medical school dorm. Unexpectedly, Su-mu registers for college, leaving Su-Nian frustrated and fearing a repetition of attention-seeking situations from her brother's admirers. Su-mu provides Su-Nian with an address and a key, revealing a beautiful, spacious apartment. Desiring independence, she didn't want to be seen solely as Su-mu's sister. During one of Su-mu's matches, he asks her to bring water, but Liu Zi does it instead. Accidentally bumping into Milla, Su-Nian apologizes, and Su-mu remains uninterested in Milla's attempts to connect. While rescuing a trapped cat with Liu Zi, Su-Nian brings it home, intending playful revenge on Su-mu. A modified video circulates, falsely portraying them as mistreating the cat. Despite negative responses, Su-Nian insists on facing society and encountering expected judgment at school. Despite the viral video tarnishing their reputation, Milla supports Su-mu and Liu Zi's innocence. Determined to prove their truth, Su-mu suggests creating a video where Liu Zi explains the real events. Unsuccessful, they opt to recreate the cat rescue scene, hoping it clarifies the situation. The new video helps people understand, and a restaurant owner offers to adopt the cat. Su-Nian encounters Milla, but Su-mu senses something unsettling about her. In university, Su-mu faces hostility as a sports team supervisor, leading to a physical altercation. The administration intervenes, imposing penalties. Amid the chaos, a baseball tournament unfolds, catching Milla's brother's interest. Su-nu, as the team captain, outlines a successful plan leading to victory. His teammates apologize, recognizing his leadership. Milla offers roses to celebrate his triumph, but Su-mu, uninterested, heads towards Liu Zi and Su-Nian. Undeterred, Milla persists, inviting him to dinner, which he declines. At home, Su Nian receives a positive job response, expressing excitement to Su Mu. The next day, at the interview, she encounters Milla's brother, unaware of their connection. Hired as his secretary, Su Nian agrees to strict conditions. She excitedly shares the news with Su Mu and Liu Zi, but Su Mu remains skeptical. Leaving her alone at the supermarket, Milla invites Su Nian to her birthday party. Unfamiliar with Milla's friends, Su Nian attends her party, reassured by Milla that their friendship suffices. Lei joined, extending an invitation to Liu Zi. As night falls, the girls prepare and head to the party. When it concludes, Su Nian gifts Milla, who then shares a painful recording. Su Mu learns of the distress, rushing to retrieve them. He leaves a warning for Milla. At home, Su Nian confronts her brother about the shocking revelation, accusing her biological parents' death on them. Distraught, she contemplates leaving. Vulnerable, she encounters danger, but Su Mu arrives in time to thwart it. When Su Nian wakes, she finds her brother by her side, choosing silence. As the movie concludes, Su Nian, overwhelmed by despair, contemplates leaving her brother behind. Seeking solace, she calls Liu Zi, breaking down in tears. Unable to comprehend her words, Liu Zi hangs up abruptly. Meanwhile, Su Mu receives grim news from his doctor. He urgently needs a heart transplant, and the future is uncertain. The movie leaves the audience on the edge of their seats, wondering about the fates of Su Nian, Su Mu, and Liu Zi.